So hi everyone. Today we'll try to understand how music generation can be performed using a music transformer alongside the codes with it. So let's get started. So first of all, we need to have a basic, a few technical terms that we need to know. So let's get started with that first. What is monophonic music? So music, a tone which has only one melody going on, like a drum or guitar or just playback singing, but not multiple tracks going on, multiple melodies going on, is called as a monophonic music. So in this particular post, we will be dealing with monophonic music only, like just one instrument. A polyphonic music, like as you must have guessed, is a track which has multiple sounds going on simultaneously, like singing, drums, guitar, everything going on. Symbolic representation of music. So representing a piece of music using notes and timings, but no sounds. So symbols that we use, but there is no sound present in it. So for an example, for symbolic representation is MIDI files. So basically, we would be using the audio data set in terms of MIDI files only in our in the rest of the post that we would be dealing, where we would be using a music transformer to generate music for drum data sets. Sub-symbolic representation is basically representing with notes, timings, and some sounds also. A MIDI file, as I told you earlier, is the most commonly used format for symbolic representation. So let's get started. Let's understand how. Let's see what does a MIDI file looks like. So I'm skipping up this code. Basically, you can use any online tool or like MuseScore app on your desktop to check how a MIDI file looks like. So here's a example for a MIDI file for drum dataset. So here you can see some symbols coming in here. I won't be jumping on technicalities. It's just for your understanding of what does a MIDI file looks like, because it's no music 101s. There are different representation present in which gives us an information about what are the notes getting used, what is the duration of each note, etc. Right. Now, when we go through the text version of this particular pictorial representation, it is more understandable in terms of a novice. So you can see that there's some meta information around the music is present key, what is the key, what is the meter, tempo, clef. I think these are terms you need to Google out and check out what does this mean. It's more on a metadata about the music. The actual piece starts from this particular line here. You can see 4.0, 8.0, 12.0. So these numbers are basically a duration of each note that is going on. And here you can see rest as a note that is going on. So in drums, basically the note that is would be running is rest. Like if it would have been guitar, it would have been C chord, D chord, G chord, etc. In case of drums, it would be rest. So as you can see that MIDI files have a lot of information present with them, and we will try to scrape that information in our following in this particular blog for generating music. So a few things that we can see in the MIDI file has, okay, it has a metadata in the starting. The actual starts out at beat 4, as you can see in the image here. Each note has a duration of 4 beats, like you can see the pattern 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Yeah, this is what it is representing. Now we won't be jumping more into the AI part, like the technicalities of music, but into the AI part now. So basically, as you have seen that, like how does a music generation would be different from any other sequence generation? So the only difference that I saw is that there would be multiple sequences that we would be using as an input, and there would be multiple sequences that we need to output. So for example, if you can see in this particular file also, which is a monophonic sound, right? Just one instrument. In this case also, you would be having a stream of notes coming in and a stream of duration coming in, right? So these are two sequences present. For example, if it would have been a monophonic sound, so there would be multiple instruments coming in, their notes and their duration. So there would be like, so if for example, if the drums and guitar and cello being played, these three instruments getting played together, so you would be having six sequences present, like one each for the note of these instruments and other for the duration of each beat present in this in these instruments. So there are six inputs that we would be having, and simultaneously we would be having six output also, because we wish to generate music for using these three instruments now, right? So basically, it's a case of multiple input sequence and multiple output sequences. So how to deal with that? Like we must have, like you must have worked with text generation, text classification. So there is just one input sequence, right? Here multiple input sequence and multiple output sequence. So that's the difference, and that is why we will see how we can merge these multiple sequences into one sequence and how prediction goes on, and likewise in the rest of the post. So basically, there are three major parts in this particular blog. One is preparing the training data set, how to handle multiple sequences, and suitable models that we can use. So preparing the data set consists of two major parts. One is parsing the MIDI file and generating the sequence from the parsed data set. So parsing the MIDI file, a MIDI file can't be parsed directly, like it's not a text file. like we just read it and we can get all the information. So if you have worked with web scraping, so there is a tool called as Beautiful Soap. So once we use that, we get different elements from that particular web page. Similar to that, we would be using a special library called as Music 21, that we would be using so that to pass a MIDI file and eventually get all the required elements. So first of all, we will be importing all the required libraries. So the two major libraries that we are using here that require special attention is Music 21 and Simple Transformers, sequence to sequence model. So this would be the model that we would be using. I will telling you how. And Music 21 is something that we require. So you first time import Music 21, you need to run a particular command, that is music21.configure.run parenthesis. So you can find this in the blog in the upward section. So this is done to configure Music 21 library. Now the next step is to read all the MIDI files and pass through them. So using glob library, we would be getting the names of all the files and we will be looping over the names of all these files. Using music21.converter.parse, we are trying to parse this particular file name that we have got, and then loop over all the notes and duration present in this particular music piece. So the first two if statements belongs to the metadata. So tell us to determine what is the time signature, what is the key of the particular music piece. I think these are the terms you need to Google out first if you are not if you are new to music. And the rest of the if statements, that is chord, rest, note, if element is note, if element is rest, if element is chord. So the case would so what we would be doing is, for a given instrument, the particular notes that are present. So for example, for guitar it would be chords, in case of drums it would be rest. So in our case, the file would be jumping like for these after metadata, from the third input for the third note, it would be coming to this particular note if statement. So it would be getting the note name and the duration of for the particular note, and then in the end we are appending the notes and durations for the particular music piece. So for a single music we would be having a sequence of notes and a sequence of durations, and eventually we'll be appending this to training notes and training durations. So training notes and training durations are lists of lists, and this would form our training data set. So here you can see an example for training notes and training duration. So as you can see that in training notes we have C major, this is the key, this is the key signature, and this is a time signature 4/4ts, and the rest of them are the notes for that particular music piece. Similarly, from the third input, from the third element, this is the duration for each beat present in the music piece. Now how to use this sequences that we've generated as a training data set. So generating sequences, so what we will be doing, that we would be using the sliding window approach, considering the mth to the nth note present in the one sequence as input, and output would be mth plus 1 and nth plus 1 note. Makes sense? So for example, if the window size is 4 and we are at this point, if m is this point, so we would be counting from n, window size is 4. So this would be our input 4 4 4 4, these four elements, and the output would be from the fourth element 4 4 4 4. Makes sense? So we would be considering each window of mth to nth element and trying to output mth plus 1 and nth plus 1 element. So both in case of both the nodes and the duration present. So now the second question is ki, okay, we are done with this, like we are able to understand how we would be generating the input and the output, but how to handle multiple sequences, because still we have different sequences for nodes and different sequences for durations. So in that case there can be multiple approaches that you can, and you can be creative with that. The one that I have followed is ki, I would be considering the mth and the nth till the nth node of the nodes, plus there would be a separator token. I use it as an NA, plus the mth and the nth token of the duration. So the window size for nodes plus a separator token plus the duration, the window size for the duration sequence, giving out mth plus 1 till nth plus 1 nodes section, again a separator token, and mth plus 1 and nth plus 1 duration section. So I think this is pretty easy to understand. So what we are doing is that we are selecting windows from both the sequences and then concatenating them both separated by a separator token. This is how we are going for a input and output sequence. In other cases, what you can do is you can also have a toggle, like one element from nodes, other element, the second element from duration, the third element from nodes again, the fourth element from duration, likewise and like for. So it's upon your wish and depending upon the performance. It can be a hit and trial method that you can try out, right? So this is the code that I would be using for generating the training data set, the input and output. So here you can see that using the window size is 20. So I'm going through this particular range. I'm reading through each sequence and then generating one sequence for the input by a combination of both nodes and sliding windows, and output for both mth plus one, as you can see, index plus one, and again index plus one for the duration, and finally appending it in a train and label data sets. Once this is done, I think this is the basic thing that we are doing. So the tokens that are present in the data set, we would be doing is we would be tokenizing them. We would be providing some standard tokenization. Alongside, we would be also splitting them into training and validation data sets. So I think this code doesn't require much explanation, or you can read it from here. Now, finally, after a standard tokenization, this is how the dataset looks like. The input text become this, and the target text become this particular point, right? So now, finally, we'll be choosing on which suitable model that we can use. So you can use any transformers model, LSTM. We can also go for LSTM's transformers, BERT, GPT, etc. Here, I would be using the transformers that are getting used for music generation are specialized called as music transformers, because they are taking an input of multiple sequences and getting an output of multiple sequences. So how does they do? It does nothing. We have concatenated the two input sequences from both nodes and duration, and the output would be again nodes and duration concatenated together. So what I'm assuming is that once we input a single sequence, we get a single sequence as an output also, and then using that separator token, that if you remember NA that I have used, you can finally segment that particular single sequence into two sequences once you get the output. So the transformer is doing nothing. What it actually does is it takes a single sequence and gives a single sequence as an output. But eventually, before inputting, we are concatenating, and after we get an output, we are breaking that sequence. So this is the only difference that we are bringing in. So here we have used the simple transformer sequence to sequence model. So these are the basic model configurations that are required. I think you can go through them. Some logging is also done, and eventually we are using the encoder and decoder type as Roberta base and BERT base case. So if you have no idea on how BERT works, you can go and check my previous videos, right? And then model training starts. So as model training requires a lot of time, it nearly took me 5 to 6 hours for just one epoch. So I just did it for just one epoch, so that just for demonstration purpose, you can see the logs here. Then you can go and evaluate your model over the validation data set. So as you can see that the evaluation loss is 0.1, and that's pretty good. So the evaluation loss is nothing but cross entropy loss. So basically for sequence to sequence model, the preferred loss function is cross entropy only. So we have also used that only. So yeah, this is the end for this. You can go and check for the predictions. You can train the model on your own, and then do let me know how the results are. Thanks.